420 Forecast First, brought to you by Todd Shore's McClarty Ford.
Well, we finally have the weather pattern dialed in just right today. We'll continue to see lots of sun out there this afternoon, eventually warming into the mid to upper 70s, but low humidity and a light breeze today compared to yesterday, so it should get to feeling great out there in the upcoming hours. Cool night tonight, but we do start a warming trend tomorrow that will take us into the mid 80s Friday, and mini heat wave on the way this weekend into early next week, and I'll have the details on that. That's a look at your Todd Shore's McClarty Ford Forecast First. Local midday begins right now.
Now, from your community, local news that matters. This is NBC6 News Local Midday Update.
Good afternoon. Welcome to NBC6 News Local Midday Update. I'm Fernanda Hernandez. Starting today with the latest in coronavirus news, Louisiana has the 5th highest per capita rate of coronavirus cases in the United States. The latest numbers from the Department of Health show a slight increase in new cases. There have been more than 28,000 positive cases across the state, and today the death toll standing at 1,600. Now, it's really important to note that 17,000 have recovered from the virus, and while Governor Edwards extended the stay-at-home order for 2 more weeks yesterday during his one-on-one meeting with President Trump, he spoke about plans to reopen the economy and the number of tests being done in Louisiana and across the U.S. Louisiana Governor Edwards will hold his daily briefing today at 2 p.m. You can watch it live on our website, arklatex-homepage.com. And money matters, and at least 4 Louisiana oil and gas companies are reporting layoffs as demand drastically decreases. The Workforce Commission had already announced 600 workers were going to be let go, and that's nearly 70 people will or have been let go from Cactus Wellhead in Bossier City. The oilfield services business in Bossier City had already begun laying off 42 workers in April and about 30% of its North American workforce earlier this month. Halliburton is also laying off workers in South Louisiana. No word yet if this will affect workers in North Louisiana. And the Louisiana Commission on Law Enforcement has been awarded $9.6 million in COVID-19 emergency supplemental funding from the Justice Department. This funding will aid state and local law enforcement in their efforts to prevent further spread of coronavirus. And Congressman Mike Johnson said this award will go to good use by helping provide overtime personnel protective equipment and other provisions needed by law enforcement, as well as helping to meet the medical needs of inmates and staff in our state and local correctional facilities. This funding was authorized under coronavirus emergency supplemental funding that was signed into law on March 6th. And your Health Matters and LifeShare Blood Center says plasma donors are still needed to help critically ill COVID-19 patients. LifeShare Blood Center says 2 weeks ago they had no plasma donations, and since then they say dozens of people have contacted them about donating. 20 donors were able to give up to 45 doses to help gravely ill patients in area hospitals.
So unfortunately, the hospitals are needing these products faster than the donors are coming to donate them. So every day we're having more and more donors come in, which is great, but unfortunately we're having more and more hospitals ask, and we're not quite keeping up right now.
And one donor can help sometimes multiple patients, and since hospitals started performing certain surgeries again, blood donations are also needed. And local nonprofits are teaming up to provide lodging and meals for those most vulnerable. Hope Connections began placing their homeless elderly clients who have underlying medical conditions in a hotel. Now, they want to make sure their clients can safely practice social distancing while the state is under this stay-at-home order. So they partnered with Christian Service and the Food Bank of Northwest Louisiana to deliver meals to the hotel. And the Louisiana Housing Corporation is paying for those staying at the hotel. Over in Texas now, here's a look at the new coronavirus numbers there. There are now more than 27,000 cases and 732 deaths so far. And the Texas Health and Human Services Department says more than 314,000 people have been tested for the virus. And NBC6 salutes the badge, and our thoughts and deepest condolences are with the Texarkana, Texas Police Department as it mourns the loss of Captain Joe Bunting. According to the TTPD Facebook, Captain Bunting died unexpectedly last night at his home after finishing his shift. He served law enforcement for over 40 years, including 35 years of exemplary service with TTPD. He also held the rank of captain for the last 19 years of his career. And the TTPD posted this message on Facebook, asking the public to please keep Joe's family in your thoughts and prayers during this most unexpected loss. And our thoughts are certainly with his family during this time. And the city of Marshall is furloughing more than a dozen employees due to the coronavirus pandemic. They're also implementing a hiring freeze. So far, the city has seen a 15% decrease in their hotel tax revenue and a 10% decrease in sales tax revenue for April.
Stay at home orders were issued probably about mid-March, mid to late March. So if there's a 2-month lag time, we haven't felt the full effect of what that's going to do to the sales tax revenue.
And he says the city has also cut $250,000 from the 2020 budget. Meanwhile, a decrease in unemployment claims was seen nationally this week. 3.8 million claims were reported, and now that's a decrease of more than 600,000 compared to last week's claims, which were 4.44 million, according to the Department of Labor's reports. And while there has been a decrease week to week, more than 30 million Americans have applied for unemployment just in the last 6 weeks. And we are headed over to Arkansas now, where the most updated numbers were released. There are now 3,210 cases of coronavirus. There have been 59 reported deaths. Governor Asa Hutchinson is ready to reopen the economy, announcing an opening date for bars and restaurants. Now, bars and restaurants in Arkansas will be allowed to open May 11th, but that's going to be in increments. According to the governor, this means dine-in restaurants can open with a 33% occupancy rate. This is considered to be phase 1. If there is not a spike in cases, the state will then proceed to phase 2 with a 67% occupancy rate. And officials say all employees will be required to wear personal protective equipment like masks and gloves at all times.
We realize that restaurants, small businesses have struggled financially and they've been out of work. They're now having to reconfigure their restaurants in a way that is safe.
We'll have separate tables that will be distancing from other customers, and we'll have disposable menus in place for a while and just keep everything sanitized.
Governor Hutchinson will be giving a COVID-19 update this afternoon at 1:30 p.m. Of course, you can watch that live on our website, arklaTexHomepage.com. And we all could use a smile right about now, and some amateur artists doing their part by leaving a mark on area medical centers. NBC6's Jenna Jordan shares more on those meaningful messages.
Under the breezeway at Christus Highland Medical Center are chalk-covered columns.
It's a way to kind of bring everyone together, and it's really cool just to watch people's expressions as they walk up and they're taking a look at things.
Everyone entering the hospital now greeted with graffiti of gratitude.
Brightens our day, sets the tone, lets us know to reflect on what we're doing and why we're doing it.
The health system's clinical education department providing boxes of sidewalk chalk, encouraging everyone from employees to visitors to draw on their beliefs.
Just at the corner over here, it says "In Christ alone." It just helps us to know who are we serving and what are we here to do, and that we are doing it in Jesus' name.
Or just write their own name, showing support to our healthcare heroes and anyone in need of some positivity.
It's something that really speaks to people, and it's a way for people to share their creativity and be just part of a community.
That community stretching outside Shreveport, with local healthcare workers also chalking the walkways of Christus Bossier Emergency Hospital, sharing simple messages with a much deeper meaning.
Knowing that we're not in this alone, that we're all in this together, whether it be associates or the community as well, and just feeling that support from one another has been really impactful.
Jenna Jordan, NBC6 News.
Thank you, Jenna. And the Louisiana Department of Health is helping you cope through the uncertainty of this pandemic. Their Keep Calm Through COVID hotline is helping those who may be feeling overwhelmed, anxious, or need help coping with COVID-19 related stress. Mental health and substance abuse counselors are available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and this service is available to you at no charge. You're seeing that phone number on your screen. And stay with us. We have a full check of your forecast after the break. Plus, we want to make sure you're taking care of yourself, so we're going to show you 10 different ways to do just that. And in the era of social distancing, some couples are tying the knot in a different way. We're going to tell you how they're saying I do later in the show. Stay with us.
Josh Marcis certified the most accurate forecast in the Arklatex.
Well, welcome back. Just wonderful weather conditions for us today. Started out in the 40s in many areas this morning, but we will warm into the mid and upper 70s this afternoon. Enjoy this. We are going to see the temperatures warm up in the upcoming days. It will be tolerable, but also dry, so we don't have any kind of threat for severe weather in the afternoons and evenings. Very comfortable for the next few days. After sunset tonight, eventually dropping through the 60s and into the 50s tonight, so it'll still be cool. 54 tonight in Shreveport, about 55 in Natchitoches and Idabel at 54 degrees as well. We'll stay clear. We actually could have a little bit of fog develop tonight, as we do have a south breeze that has returned to the region as we head through the overnight hours. So here's a look at your Robinson and Futurecast. Obviously not much to see here with that dry air in place across the region. That dry northwest wind will keep us mostly sunny again through the day today and early tomorrow. Actually see that south breeze starts to return to the region as we move through the day Friday. So we are going to see the humidity start to creep up just a little bit each day as we head into the weekend, but we are going to stay mostly sunny for your Friday, so your outdoor plans look to be in pretty good shape here, and warming trend as we head through the day tomorrow. So tomorrow's highs will top out in the mid 80s in most locations. Warm day for us, light south breeze, and what's keeping us dry not only today but through the weekend, you can see this ridge of high pressure that has sent the jet stream and thus all the storms off across the northern half of the country, so we don't have any foreseeable severe weather threat in the future. And there's a look at the weekend. We could actually push 90 by Sunday. Pretty toasty Saturday as well. And we'll see those temperatures at 90 degrees early next week. So there's the 7-day. The temperatures will be really nice in the mornings this week, as we'll be in the 60s each morning, Saturday and Sunday. And again, 90-degree highs will be possible for us Sunday and Monday. Slight rain chances will return next week. It looks like Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. Could see a few thunderstorms there as well, but nothing that jumps out and says that we'll have any severe weather. But we'll continue to keep you updated on that as we continue through the week and into the weekend. That's a look at your forecast. Let's send it back over to Fernanda.
Thank you, Josh. And you can get up-to-the-minute weather information through our new weather app. The Arklatex Weather Authority app is available for download for Apple as well as Android devices. And your health matters, and pharmaceutical giant AstraZeneca is partnering with the University of Oxford to manufacture and distribute a potential vaccine for the coronavirus. Now, they've already vaccinated hundreds of people with their experimental COVID-19 vaccine and expect trial results in mid-June. One Oxford professor says researchers want to make sure the rest of the world will be ready to make the vaccine at scale once it gets approved by regulators. And remdesivir is the first drug to show an impact in treating COVID-19, according to Dr. Anthony Fauci. And the company says they have enough to treat 140,000 patients. The FDA is planning to issue an emergency use authorization for the drug. It's currently given to patients through an IV, but they are working on an inhaled and oral version of the medication. The drug was originally created to fight Ebola, but it was not effective against that disease. And during this pandemic, sometimes we get so busy taking care of others that we may forget to take care of ourselves. There are 10 things that you can do to be your best self, and Mandy Gather tells us what those are in today's Health Minute.
It's an unprecedented time filled with stress and uncertainty, and more than ever, Children's Healthcare of Atlanta says parents need to make time for themselves. Acknowledge your feelings and allow yourself to feel them. Don't minimize those feelings. Avoid comparing how you feel to how others feel. We're all different. Practice healthy habits with diet and exercise. Follow a routine that can create predictability and offer a sense of comfort and security. Give yourself a break. You're doing your best. Set clear boundaries. Don't get sucked into working 24/7. Set limits so you don't get burned out. Focus on what you can control so your thoughts won't spiral and get overwhelming. Take 5. Do something for yourself that's only for you. Make time for laughter and joy. FaceTime a friend. Social distancing doesn't mean social isolation. And finally, practice gratitude. It can help you focus on what you have instead of what you don't. For today's Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
And coming up next, consumer news that you can use. Now, you may have a product in your cabinet that just recently got recalled. We're going to tell you what that is next.
This is NBC6 News Local Midday Update.
Welcome back. In your consumer news this afternoon, GlaxoSmithKline is recalling certain lots of its Benefiber supplement. Now, green plastic pieces or shavings from bottle caps may have contaminated both the Benefiber Healthy Shape Prebiotic Fiber as well as the Benefiber Prebiotic Fiber Supplement Powder. These recalled lots were distributed from October through January to retailers nationwide. If you have this recalled product, stop using it and contact the GSK Contact Center to request a refund. And the annual GeeksCon event has been canceled due to the ongoing coronavirus pandemic. The organizer of the convention made the announcement yesterday on Facebook that they're working on getting the guests who were expected this year to still attend next year. The new dates for GeeksCon will be August 13th through 15th, 2021. Meanwhile, Best Buy is revealing a detailed plan to reopen its stores gradually. It will open 200 locations around the country next month for people who make appointments for in-store consultations. Employees will be required to wear masks and gloves and have temperature checks before starting their shifts. Best Buy has been offering curbside pickup and online delivery since shutting stores in March. And Starbucks hopes to have 90% of its stores back in business by early June. Right now, half of Starbucks U.S. stores are closed, and the COO says 30 stores will reopen as a trial with no seating inside, and after evaluating how that goes, other stores will follow suit. More curbside pickup is also in the works. And Chick-fil-A has a new meal kit for customers to buy and reheat at home. It's a chicken parmesan kit for two that costs $14.99. It can be delivered or ordered at the drive-thru, and this kit includes 2 breaded fillets, marinara sauce, cheese, and a side of creamy garlic and lemon pasta. And now customers can swap out that breaded fillet for a grilled or spicy chicken. And Chick-fil-A will start selling its new product nationwide as soon as May 4th. They're also offering a family meal deal, which includes 30-count chicken nuggets and gallons of their sweet tea. Stick around, we've got some positive news and your feel-good stories of the day coming up next. But first, we're taking a look outside with our Louisiana Tower Cam. Sunny weather has returned. We're going to tell you how long it's going to stick around after the break.
This is NBC6 News Local Midday Update.
Welcome back. In more positive news, a professional cut, trim, or color may be hard to get these days, but you can still say thanks to your hairstylist today because it's National Hairstylist Appreciation Day. Now, many barber shops and hair salons are closed because of the outbreak, but you can still show your appreciation by sending them a virtual card or maybe even give them a social media shout out. And it's a blast from the past, and Dairy Queen has released a new treat for your sweet tooth. This new limited edition of Frosted Animal Cookie Blizzard consists of frosted animal cookie pieces and pink confetti icing. It's all blended into Dairy Queen's regular soft serve, and that treat is part of Dairy Queen's summer menu, which also includes other Blizzard flavors. Meanwhile, in the Big Apple, the Empire State Building shined blue last night to honor New York City transit workers. Blue is the official color of the Metropolitan Transportation Authority, and mass transit workers have kept the city running through the coronavirus pandemic. Last night, New York's iconic landmark paid tribute to the dedication of the unsung heroes of the MTA. And imagine saying I do, but over video chat. Well, that's what happened in New York. Introducing the very first Zoom wedding. Gene Moose has more.
When lockdown means you can't walk down the aisle, when friends and family can't gather to hear, consider saying I thee Zoom wed.
Don't cry.
Bride and groom invited as many as 50 guests who introduced themselves.
I'm Uncle Michael from Canada.
Drank and ate right up to the moment of the ceremony. The mother of the groom in the UK wore a fascinator. Friends of the bride dressed fancy on top.
The bottom part was pajama.
Shoe designers Sayaka Fukuda and James Storr Brown, who works in finance, were among the first New Yorkers to marry on Zoom after Governor Cuomo gave the green light to weddings via video conferencing.
So there's no excuses anymore. Yes or no? Will you marry me?
Thank you, Cuomo.
These two newlyweds nuzzled and kissed their way through our interview, even rubbed noses. A longtime friend officiated at the ceremony.
To be your lawfully wedded wife.
I do.
This really puts the Zoom in marriage. How long did it take to arrange and invite guests?
2 hours.
The couple says lockdown, note the quarantine hair, was great practice for marriage after dating 3.5 years.
We'll look back on this and laugh and realize that, there is a light and that we can get through things together.
It may not sound like the language of love.
I have to mute this, sorry.
But there's nothing mute about this romance.
I think he said, now you may kiss the bride, and there we do.
Jeannie Mose, CNN.
I love you.
New York.
A final check of your forecast is we'll have pleasant temperatures today and tomorrow. Start that warming trend through the weekend. That will carry us to near 90 for your Sunday and Monday. No rain in that weekend forecast, so get out there, enjoy it. We do have temperatures that will warm into the 60s overnight, and you can see next week we do have slight rain chances on the way. This will be late Tuesday into Wednesday. We'll keep you updated on that, but right now it does not look like we'll see any severe weather next week.
Thank you, Josh, and that's all for your local midday update. We hope you enjoy this sunny day. We're going to see you back here tomorrow.
The Arklatex Weather Authority app, available now for both Android and Apple devices. Download and install now and take weather information that's certified the most accurate with you in the palm of your hand.